Well, hey everybody, John Ritlin here, and this is Which Was Worse, episode 13, where I'm talking about more badly booked title reigns. AJ Styles' first WWE title reign, and Kevin Owens' Universal title reign, because they kind of took place sort of around the same time, even though AJ Styles' title reign lasted a little bit less. They kind of, since they both kind of happened, roughly within weeks of each other, at least them winning their respective titles, I thought I would take a look and figure out where things really went wrong. And if you're not familiar with this series, even though I've been uploading quite a few of these lately, the idea behind this is I'm taking a look at things that are similar: pay-per-views, pay-per-view matches, wrestling angles, characters, gimmicks, just certain, whatever, or badly booked title reigns or title reigns of terror in the sense of, like the JBL Jinder one that I did recently. Or when I compared Diesel's run and Hogan's run in WCW, Diesel's, WWF run and Hogan's WCW title run. The whole point is that they take things that have similarities, and not that it's all going to be angry and all going to be negative, but I'm going to figure out which one of these was the worst. And since they both happened, they both won the titles roughly around the same time, I thought I'd take a look at it. So, yeah, it's not going to all be negative, but let's take a look at which ones were the worst. So, let's start with Kevin Owens' Universal title reign. Finn Balor had to relinquish the title due to injury. They did a fatal four-way. Kevin Owens was helped by Triple H to become Universal Champion. And that was never mentioned. That thing was never mentioned again, Triple H being involved in all that, so whatever. So, Owens from there was feuding with Seth Rollins, and actually a pretty good feud. Jericho did, of course, interfere and stuff like that, because this was before the Festival of Friendship, and why is my name on this? All the feels in the world. But Owens feuded with Seth Rollins, and then did a few other things and stuff like that, and feuded with Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble 2017. A lot of it kind of all blends together, and you had him and Jericho, as a team, and that was great. And of course, Jericho in the shark cage up there like a sexy pinata, as he would say, which was always funny. Jericho could spin a lot of anything into gold. Thank God he's able to do more heelish stuff and be a little more vicious and violent outside of WWE. But Owens' title reign wasn't all bad. He had some pretty good quality matches, but it was how he never really felt like the guy. It still felt like Reigns was, the focal point. Or how, Triple H and Rollins were going to be the hot program and stuff like that. Owens never felt like the champion, even though he held it for about 6.5 goddamn months. And that's what was pretty disappointing. Because then, he's still champion, still this kind of stuff, and then turns on Chris Jericho, helps eliminate him, or takes him out and everything, beats him up, the Festival of Friendship, all that. And then Jericho distracts him, and from there, Owens loses the Universal title at Fastlane to Goldberg in like a 20-second match, because Goldberg really couldn't go all that long because he had a shoulder injury. Because he probably shouldn't have been fucking wrestling at 50 goddamn years old. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Might do an unpopular wrestling opinion about wrestlers coming back all too much and veterans being used well past their prime. In fact, I'll probably do that at some point. But with Owens, his title reign, it began well. I mean, even though the Triple H stuff's like, okay, he attacked Roman Reigns and then beat up Rollins to, give the victory to Owens. But after that, nothing was mentioned of it. And then it ended with such a goddamn whimper. And it was so goddamn stupid, because from there, and I'll get into other stuff that happened afterwards. Actually, I'll just get into it right now. Owens then feuded, with the U.S. title, feud over the U.S. title with Chris Jericho and stuff like that. And they had what was a pretty good match at WrestleMania 33. And then they traded things a little bit. He won the title back from Jericho, and then feuded with AJ Styles over the U.S. title for not a whole lot of time. Or not a whole lot of... They feuded seemingly actually forever, when actually it was only about 3 months. But they traded the title back and forth a lot. It didn't really pop all that much. And then Owens entered his feud with Shane McMahon, and that led to Shane doing an insane fall off the Hell in a Cell structure. And Sami Zayn helped Kevin Owens get out of the way. Shane, stop diving off of things, you fucking madman. You are a millionaire with a family. Stop diving off of shit, you crazy individual. But looking at the totality of Owens' run, I mean, as Universal Champion, he just never felt that important. And it was great to see him get a chance to be Universal Champion because they had to make the best of it since Balor was probably going to be champion. Maybe for just a bit and then Owens would have won it. I don't know what the initial plans were. I could speculate and say that Balor would have been champion from SummerSlam till Hell in a Cell and or till whatever. September pay-per-view might have been Night of Champions or something like that. The whole point is the September pay-per-view. Maybe Balor would have lost the title right there, and then he would have chased Owens for a bit and won the title back, and then maybe had a rematch with Rollins later. Who the fuck knows? I don't know what they were necessarily going to fucking do with that. But with this, it felt flatter than it should have, and I just don't fucking understand it. Because Owens, magic on the mic, good in the ring, especially for a guy that size, and really is the type of guy you could have as a focal point in your company. And if you're not going to treat him like a main eventer, then why the fuck make him champion? Oh, it's to please some fans. But if you don't book him like a champion all that much, and if you just book him in undercard bullshit, and to have him lose to Goldberg in 20 seconds, and again, I'm not saying that Goldberg should have been out there wrestling for very long, or at all. Sorry, nothing against Goldberg as a person, but just that I did not enjoy that comeback at all. In fact, that's probably going to be another video that you guys will see up soon. But this it just didn't pop to me. It didn't pop enough to me. I like Owens. I liked Owens as champion. I hope he gets another crack at the WWE title and actually gets a run with the title instead of just it being teased. But ultimately, his Universal title reign just kind of, it didn't flounder. They had him flounder by not giving him the best stuff. And yes, the stuff with Jericho got repetitive and all that, but still, I enjoyed parts of it. I just wish they had done a little more with it. Now, was it all negative? No. There were some high points and the Festival of Friendship stuff. And sure, him losing the title, and getting his comeuppance because Jericho distracted him and Goldberg beat him. Okay, it led to a program there. That's where they were going to go with it. They should have had Goldberg they should not have had Goldberg and Brock over the Universal title. It should have been Owens and Jericho over the Universal title. Now tell me that wouldn't have been cool. Jericho could have won it, and then Owens could have won it back after a month or something like that. Or whatever. Or move Owens out of the picture and then have Jericho, drop it to somebody else. There are ways they could have done it, and they didn't do that. But then we get to AJ Styles' first WWE title run. Now, I will say this. Initially, when he debuted at the Royal Rumble, did great. Teamed with AJ, or not with AJ. AJ teamed with AJ. That would be weird. It'd be the Spider-Man meme all over again. He teamed with Jericho, Y2AJ, and then those shirts, became archaic and everything because the team split up right after shirts were made, like 8 days, or maybe even a day after. It was amazing and terrible, but also amazing. He lost to Jericho at, Mania 32, which I didn't agree with, but then won the right to face Roman Reigns, won the right to face Roman Reigns at, it was, Extreme Rules and another pay-per-view. Was Extreme Rules, he beat Cena Money in the Bank. Or he faced Cena Money in the Bank. That was the whole point is he faced Roman Reigns twice. And then, did the whole beat up John Cena thing, and then ended up in the Superstar Shakeup going over to SmackDown, and then beat Cena clean as a fucking whistle at SummerSlam 2016, which I did not think was going to fucking happen. And I will say that right there. That was fucking amazing. So yeah, from there he faced Dean Ambrose, and I'm going to cover Dean Ambrose's title reign and another title reign in another future episode, do not worry. Because that's a whole nother, video and a half right there if I really wanted to get into it. But AJ beat Dean Ambrose after hitting a low blow and everything, behind the referee's back. And ended up getting the victory over Dean. So AJ Styles, the TNA stalwart, the Impact Wrestling Golden Boy, and big New Japan star for a couple years before he came to WWE, is the WWE champion. And then he proceeded to feud with Dean Ambrose forever. And I love Dean. Honestly, I do. They involved James Ellsworth, which nobody really asked for. I found it entertaining the first time, and then it just got old. They were like, hey, people liked it. And then they did it. It's like they fed us the same damn thing, and it really did not fucking work after a while. Ellsworth, he was fine as a jobber. He was fine as somebody that they brought in just like as a joke, and him having a spot, and he apparently was liked backstage, except maybe by the women. Can't imagine why he would seem creepy like that, but With AJ, yeah, he feuded with Dean, and then he feuded with Dean into TLC, and then Ambrose got betrayed by Ellsworth, and lost the title. So finally, that feud was done, and then AJ feuded with Cena into the Royal Rumble, and then lost. When they should have gone with their initial plan of having Undertaker versus AJ Styles at Mania, I actually would have popped for that, even though I don't know how good it would have been. It probably would have been better than Reigns versus Undertaker, but I digress. Cena won the title, and then from there, AJ entered a feud with, he failed to capture it at Elimination Chamber, then entered a feud with Shane McMahon, and then entered that feud with Kevin Owens. In fact, that's pretty much the reason why I compared both of them. One, they both of them won the titles around the same time, within a few weeks of each other. Lost them. AJ lost his in January. Kevin Owens didn't lose his till March. But then they all tied together and did a U.S. title feud that did seemingly go on forever. AJ's, I gotta say, even though he feuded with the same guy seemingly for fucking ever, I gotta say AJ Styles' WWE title run was a bit more successful. Because it was something that I didn't think I would see. Now, Owens as Universal Champion certainly shocked me, but even though it was 6.5 months roughly, AJ's felt a little fresher. Maybe because I didn't think it was going to happen. Yes, he feuded with Ambrose a little bit too long. I didn't like that he lost to Cena. That's nothing against Cena. I don't even think Cena wanted to have that 16th reign. I don't know if Cena's going to get another crack at the title. He might just end up tying Ric Flair. Fuck, they shouldn't have even had that and have Cena be one short, just that close to Ric Flair, who actually has more like 24 title reigns, if we want to be perfectly honest. But there are just a lot not recognized by the NWA. So I gotta say Styles' reign, just a little bit better. Owens is just a little bit worse. They would probably be neck and neck, but I just sort of enjoyed AJ Styles' a little bit more. Even though Owens was great on the mic, and him and Jericho were great, and he had some good matches, by and large, Owens has felt a lot more flat. Styles at least felt like the guy, even though he wasn't really main eventing pay-per-views as champion, or at least not enough of them. He was also only champion for a little bit, and one of those shows was the Royal Rumble. So the WWE title should have not main event. The Royal Rumble should always fucking main event. Since it's the name of the fucking pay-per-view. But yeah, let's say Styles is just a little bit better than Owens. The title reign. So that's my opinion. Anyway, do you agree? Do you disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I will see you soon.